Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. If you're watching live, enjoy the show. If you're not watching live, you're watching the rerun. I hope you find something useful in the stream. So we're just basically gonna look at what's happening on the chart and wait a little bit until people actually get in. Coin. Nah, I don't know about that, man. Chamali checking in. Simple technology. Put the music louder. I think it's loud enough. Maybe like this. I think it's like this. There is literally no music, man. I don't know. Maybe this is better. Okay, let's see if the music is fine right now. I think this should be done. Maybe this is better. Yeah, it's okay. It's good enough. It's good enough. I don't want to hassle the music too much. It's fine. Hi Sasha, watching TLA from Dubai. You in Dubai? You should say hello to Crypto and the Moon. I'm ready to get wrecked. Let's go. I know this pattern. By the way, how are you, bro? I'm doing well. The center plan. What's up? Hello, man. Back to the exciting Bitcoin chart. Yeah, very exciting Bitcoin chart. Chart looks like a sideways pattern. One more leg up, lower high. New moon dump during June, then accumulation until 22/11. I don't know if accumulation is gonna be all the way until November, but we'll see. The music is the pattern. Ask me this: do you have everything in USDT at this moment, and why are you crypto analysis ashamed to admit that they hold USD? I don't have everything in USDT. I don't know who says that crypto analysis are ashamed to say. I don't have everything, but yeah, most of it is in USDT right now. Technically not USDT, it's euros and dollars, but because who knows what's gonna happen with Tether, so it's good to be on the safe side. It really doesn't matter. I think we got a zero today. Every day zero. Is the music too loud right now? I don't know, guys. Okay, so over here, whether this is, triangle, some kind of other pattern, man, we gotta see that. But before we start, finding the pattern, this does not look good, guys. This doesn't look good. If you look at here, down here, we got rejected 3 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We got rejected 4 times on 10 moving average, so it looks like it wants to dump more on the downside. It's gonna take maybe a day or two or something like that, but it does want to do the move towards the downside. So it does want to dump. You can see down up here, try to get up to 10 moving average, bearish engulfing right down. Try to get up, right back down, bearish engulfing. Got above the 10 moving average, right back down. Then stayed below it and then tried again, or bearish engulfing right back down. I think this is the last candle that we are gonna test the 10 and 20 20 moving average. I think right now over here we might go a little bit sideways, drop down below the support here, maybe retest that support, and then, you know, dump on the downside. So we are getting very, very close to this, you know, last dump on the downside. I don't see anything bullish in the chart. I don't see anything how this is actually gonna survive. There is of course a very nice probability that we, you know, just do spring towards a downside and, you know, bounce right back up again, but I don't see it right now in the seat. You know, when we start going on the downside down here, there might be something like that, but, you know, I think we need to go to the downside more to actually see that. Hi Kat, I do, man, I do. So there was no Bitcoin daily today. I'm not kind of in the mood to live stream. You know, the market kind of bores me a little bit, unfortunately. Of course, everybody knows what happened with the stock markets and Snapchat. Snapchat dumped down like 40% on the downside. Right now, it's 42% on the downside. You know, huge move towards downside down here, 42% down, and they say, you know, they say that, you know, Bitcoin is the problem, man. Look here, man, look here, from the top up here, from the top, you know, up here all the way to the bottom, it already did 84%, while Bitcoin only did 66% towards downside. So, you know, Bitcoin is holding better than Snap, but, you know, this was kind of coming for Snap because, you know, Snap are, you know, doing badly on making money and stuff like that, right? So, you know, it was looking kind of terrible down here. Also down here it was hitting this 200 moving average for the third time. We wrote on Twitter, hey man, maybe it's the next, and it was the next in line to drop, you know, bigger on downside. I mean, 40% move towards downside while already been bleeding towards downside, just dropped big time. You know, that's terrible. That's terrible. So markets right now are kind of, you know, shady over here. You know, yesterday we had a nice move towards the upside. But then we are getting, you know, pulled back, you know, already, you know, pushed back a little bit towards the downside. So we'll see if we can manage, you know, to close in green over here today. And the same thing goes with S&P 500. There are a couple of lines here on the S&P 500 chart that there are a couple of S&P, you know, a couple of lines nice here, up here, you know, support line, a resistance line. And there are two lines that we should take notice of, and these are the two lines: the 200 weekly moving average over here, it goes something like this right now, 200 weekly moving average, and this trend line over here. So these two lines are very important the way I see it. Over here you can see right now, this is acting as a support, this is acting as support. So if you do another move towards the downside down here, we are looking for this 200 moving average to, you know, pick the price up. But you know, only way this is gonna rally towards the upside if we can manage to break this upper trend line up here. We are not even close to the upper trend line right now. This expanding wedge up here might be, you know, that we because we had already tested this maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 times on the bottom side, only 2 times on the upside. So, you know, I think this has, you know, probability to actually go all the way up to some kind of 42,000 back down up there again. Maybe if it breaks up here, it might continue rallying towards the upside. We don't actually really know, but, you know, it's really important to notice the 200 moving average and the trend line up here as for some kind of support. This goes also, the same thing goes also for the Dow Jones as well. You can see here very important trend line of the support, and right now this move towards the downside right over here. Let me just move this line. This is not the line that I want to show. It was actually up here, something like this, maybe up there, up here. It looks like expanding channel. So both the S&P 500 and Dow Jones have the same pattern right now, coming very close to this 200 weekly moving average. Whether that weekly moving average is gonna hold or not, we do not actually know. If you look at other moving averages and stuff like that, that's the 50 moving average on the monthly time frame. But, you know, we got also kind of supports on the downside. There's a, you know, whole bunch of supports down here on the downside. You know, so where do we get support, where do we bounce? A little bit hard to tell, but the only thing we, you know, are right now interested whether this 200 moving average on the weekly time frame will actually hold us support. This can definitely dump another move towards the downside. DXY right now is actually still going towards downside. Not much has actually changed. It's still bleeding towards downside. There is this, you know, small tiny falling wedge that's playing out here, so maybe, just maybe, it bounces back out of this, you know, and, you know, continues towards the upside. So this falling wedge down here right now, you know, we'll see if this actually breaks on the downside, you know, maybe some kind of fake out downside, then, you know, right back up again, or it maybe just, you know, bounce up here and just continue, you know, trying to have a rally towards the upside. Now if this rally towards the upside right now comes, you know, towards the upside, we might see more dump on Bitcoin and stock markets as well, because, you know, they're kind of inversely correlated. Fantastic news about XRP and price dump makes you think, doesn't it? What are the XRP news? It seems Bitcoin is correlated with stock market. It seems the pattern comes from the 1 minute pattern. Look at bits at 1 minute between 50. Nah, not doing that. What are the expectations for pump tomorrow? No clue, man. Last time we pumped, so, you know, this time it's, you know, I don't think we're gonna have the same reaction. You tagged on Twitter regard Snap and people say crypto is manipulated. I've tagged you on Twitter regarding Snap and people say crypto is manipulated. Yeah, so we had this thing on Twitter. So you can see here, you know, April 22nd, when we are doing these three moves towards downside, I said he snapped next in line to do a Facebook move, you know, and then he dumped on downside. So, you know, guess it was next in line. So there is that. But, you know, somebody mentioned me something. Let me check it out. Very, I'm not saying suspicious to sell 250,000 Snap 12 minutes before it nuked 22% on news, but it's pretty fucking suspicious. Yeah, so somebody knew about something, you know, and then, you know, the price started falling down, you know, somebody knew about something. Yeah, so like we said, guys, over here, I'm gonna show you. Let's go to up here. Where is it? I think it was a media image. I mean, markets are always manipulated. If somebody is not manipulating the markets, you will be the manipulator and manipulate the markets yourself. You know, it just happens. That's just the way these things work, man. Markets are always manipulated. Somebody always knows something. That's just the way life is. The faster you actually accept that, the easier life will actually be. So let me just try to find this one post from, there we go, this one over here. I think news can kick off an event like in Snap's news, but I always think news are priced in long before. See Netflix drop. Although it suddenly fell 36% on news event, the chart was already looking terrible, and down move was more than expected. See charts to get my point. So over here, you know, it was already looking terrible, so news came, it already dumped down. I think charts can tell you ahead of time what's about to happen, because market always knows something. Insiders knows, friends know, politicians know, somebody knows, and it always reflects on the chart prior to the event. As Ferry right now said, over here, notifications mentions, see here, somebody dumped 250,000 Snap 12 minutes before he got nuked. You know, whether this is, you know, whether this is coincidence or not, we don't not know, but, you know, somebody knows. Somebody always knows, guys. Somebody always knows. Bitcoin right now 0.26% on the downside. We got some kind of you know, some kind of support line, some kind of resist lines. I'm losing a little bit faith in retesting the 132 line up here at the top. Not quite sure whether that's gonna be, you know, happening or not. The short-term trend up here got broken on the downside. Yesterday we had a nice 4-hourly dump candle towards downside, which was quite bearish. I gotta tell you that, guys. I gotta tell you that. Ooh, very, very bearish. As we just said on the daily time frame, this looks very bad. And I'm expecting as soon as we move below 28.7 or something like that to have a nice dump, more dump on the downside, 28.6 or something like that. As soon as we go below that, I'm expecting more dumps, more dumpy dumps on the downside. We are still waiting for the new moon that's gonna happen on the 30th of May. We are expecting moon to dump us towards downside. Now, if this is your first time in this channel, we do actually believe in the moons, and we are watching the moons, and, you know, trusting the moons are actually gonna tell us whether we are bullish or bearish or what's gonna happen, right? Up here you can see here, you know, we had an increase in the volume once we start falling on the downside. We had increase in the volume up here, but, you know, as soon as we came inside this consolidation pattern up here, the volume stabilized itself. We can check maybe some other moves up here. Volume is actually kind of going up here a little bit, but it was going up here a little bit as well, so you know, it doesn't have to mean anything right now. So the resistance 31, 32, unsure about whether we're gonna actually test that. Let's pop the moving average up here. Right now 20 moving average is below the resistance at 31.7 and 32.2. So I am a little bit unsure that this is just, you know, for whatever reason test this and then go on downside. I think right now it's more probable that we are just gonna fall down, maybe retest here on the top up here, and then, you know, continue on the downside, right? So that's what I'm that's what I'm looking at right now, right? And then, you know, dump on downside. The new moon is coming exactly on the 31st, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check that. Next new moon comes on May 30th. So it's not 31st, it's 30th over here. Yeah, we already got May 30th. That's the next new moon that's coming. So we are expecting a dump moon when that happens. So you will see actually this actually plays out. Now, what kind of pattern is this? This is the, you know, trick question, if you want to call it like that, because, you know, I've seen other people do, you know, both, you know, bull, you know, some kind of bear flags up here, and I've been drawing this channel towards downside, and then there has been, you know, these triangles up here, right? So, you know, there is, you know, different ways actually look at how this actually plays out. Different way to look at it, but, you know, it might also be some kind of just, you know, just some kind of normal channel, whatever, you know, it goes kind of sideways up here, whatever, right? It might be just some kind of normal, just sideways channel, but more than that, I think there is definitely some kind of moves. So over here we had some kind of line down here that actually got broken, maybe something like this up here from top to top. The bottom, maybe something like this up here, then we broke that, and then we create a new pivot point up here at the top, and we could use this line up here, and it does seem to be a legit line. And you can see here we are trying to break it up, just staying above it, and then fell down on our head. As soon as we broke this downtrend up here, then something started happening up here. Let's see down here if we can actually pull the line. Now if you do it like this up here, it does look like it's some kind of descending triangle. But I don't think this is descending, because there is a engulfing candle up here, and we can actually draw the line just you know, above that. So maybe something like this up here, maybe even all the way up to the top up here, and you know, then we are still, but it's still not symmetrical. Symmetrical triangle should go something like this up here, something like this. So maybe it's one of these, you know, one of these lines up here, give or take. So how this actually, you know, plays out, it kind of depends. Might be some kind of channel on the downside, like something like this up here as well. I don't know, guys. I've been looking at this, you know, up down, inverse, not inverse, trying to figure it out. I cannot figure the pattern out. It's not very clear pattern. It breaks everything. So, you know, it's the way I see it. It is a little bit tricky, you know, to figure out what kind of pattern this is. Something with hug dump. This is not hug dump pattern. It's not hug dump pattern. Maybe let me see up here. Nah, usually see a hug down pattern. We go something like this, then we come up here to the top, and it will drop down. But this is not dropping down. It's got, you know, it got rejected. So it is holding. It doesn't seem that it's a hug and dump pattern. At least from, you know, often it does look like extend smeg hug over here, but it's not dumping, right? It's not dumping. So it might do the move towards the upside up here, right? And then dump on the downside eventually, right? So, you know, we are still expecting this one last move towards the upside, right? But whatever happens, this is the line that we need to fall through. That's 38,715. We need to fall through 38,715 to actually, you know, start, you know, pushing towards the downside. Bull flag. Yeah, it's a bull flag. Nah, it's not a bull flag. So best case scenario, the way I see it, like maybe something like this up here. I think this upper line is actually quite legit. You know, that much I'm sure of. So I'm looking at this as some kind of a resistance line up here, and you know, until we actually break this towards the upside, then there is actually nothing is happening. Now the problem is this bottom support line. The bottom support line is a little bit different and a little bit, you know, trickier to find. Maybe it's something like this up here, right? It could be that, like this week can be used, but you know, we don't got anything on this week down here, so I don't want to use that. Maybe it's something like this, but you know, we're only hitting it 2 times up here, 1-2 times. I don't think that's it's either. This is too flat. I mean, it does hit it very nicely 3 times in a row, so it might be some kind of very nice, you know, support line, but descending channel up here. These descending channels, these descending triangles can actually be seen as reversal patterns. I'll show you down here. One of the most famous reversal patterns from before. No, sorry, this is ascending channel, right? So ascending triangles, you know, might act as a reversal pattern, right? Now, unfortunately, this is descending triangle, and descending triangle doesn't necessarily, it could be, but you know, it doesn't have to be. So over here we definitely got some kind of, you know, line down there, and then, you know, the other line is a tricky one to find. Maybe it's something like this. Let's go to 4-hour time frame up here to see how this actually plays out. So it goes down there, it hits that one, maybe it's down at the bottom. I think it should be a little bit up here, something like this up here. So, you know, instead of trying to use entire part up here, maybe you should use just the last part and try to find the pattern. You know, often, you know, it's enough just to find the ending of the pattern instead of trying to figure out where the lines have been going all through the, you know, entire pattern up here. Maybe something like this, and on the bottom side, maybe something like this up here, because we got a 3 touch, but it's still not nice enough triangle for me. It's too steep. Maybe something like this, because this looks like more or less a little bit. But then it should be something like this down here. It just breaks it too many times, man. It just breaks too many times, like over here, down here, 2 times here. Yeah, you know, I'm not quite sure. Maybe this is the pattern. Like it does have a couple of nice touches down here. You can here. Right now, you know, getting sport on top side. Not very nice up here, but you know, there are a couple of, you know, up here nice touch, and then we broke that right back down again, and so forth. And you know, this can also be very, you know, viable, because we are up here, you know, 70-80% inside this triangle up here. This is 70%, so there is 30% left. So you know, it is should be just before the move towards the outside. Now, if it is as, and you know, some kind of pennant, could be B, because you know, this is a bearish continuation pennant towards downside. We are also expecting more room to the downside. We also see all kind of bearishness on the daily time frame. So yeah, are we gonna, you know, just drop on the downside down here? I don't know, but it does look already bad. So, you know, I'm already looking towards downside. The question is when. I do not know when it's gonna happen, but you know, the question is when. So this is the 30th. I think on around the 30th we should have another more dump towards downside. So yeah. Yo, music too loud. Ape getting ready to run. I don't think Ape is getting ready to run. I think Ape is you know, dumped on the downside. You can see down here, Ape also had this nice triangle up here, and you know, I wouldn't say it's ready to run anywhere except run down. It might have a nice pullback up here, but you can see here we are below the moving average. This is still 4-hourly time frame, but even here on the daily time frame, you see that we actually failed to hold any kind of support and dumped on the downside, right? So we tried to going up here. We're a little bit rejected by the resistance up here. Below the support. Did we go below this support as well? Yeah, we went below all of the support, so it is quite bearish. I don't think the move is done just yet, and you know, I'm expecting more downside for when it comes to Ape. BTC, it's a messed up pattern on purpose. It just might big tuna crypto. Yeah, it might be a messed up pattern, because you know, it is kind of hard to figure it out. you know, to draw the nice lines, the correct lines. Like we could just you know, wait, let me just find another chart that's, you know, yeah, it doesn't matter, we can clean this one up. I mean, if you're not that, you know, precise, but we are trying to be precise, because oftentimes, you know, it does help you figure out what's gonna happen if you're trying to be precise, you know. But if not precise, you can just say, you know, eyeball this down here and say, you know, there is some kind of pattern up here, right? It's going something like this up here, give or take. Maybe it's even use this one up here, so, you know, people will call it a channel, whatever. That's yeah, you know, it looks more like channel than anything else. But nah, hard to figure out. Shigaburia, by the way, do you know the bottom is near when TLI is not in the mood for morning tea? Yeah, maybe that's the thing, maybe that's the thing. By the way, okay, so beside Bitcoin right now, you know, looking very bearish, guys. It does look bearish, there is no, you know, turning around away from that. Bitcoin looks bearish, stock markets look bearish, DXY looks bearish. But I gotta tell you something, guys, we need to change the way we think about things. We need to change that a little bit up, okay? We need to stop saying it looks bearish when it's going down, you know. Oh, it looks bad, this is gonna, you know, look bad. I mean, when it starts going down, you can say, oh, this looks bad because there is so much downside, right? But when you're coming down to the bottom, we need to stop saying, oh man, it looks bad. We need to start saying, oh man, this looks almost good, you know. And when it goes down, oh, it's so nice. And it goes even down, oh, that's so nice, very nice. Because why? Because there is, you know, because you're not gonna go to the bottom and then say, oh man, this looks so bad, it's just gonna dump this. No. When we dump, we need to change the way we think, and we need to start saying, oh man, this looks very, very nice. Very, very nice. Why? Because you're at the bottom, you know. When it looks the worst, it looks the best for us, right? That's what we want. When it looks the worst, it looks the best, right? So, you know, we want to change a little bit of mindset about thinking about this bearish move toward downside, because everybody is, you know, all the time saying, oh, this looks bad, 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 even me, myself. But, you know, the more down it goes, the better it's gonna be looking for us, guys. The better it is looking for us, and, you know, eventually, of course, that's gonna be nice. Now, Altcoin, of course, broke towards downside. We just saw that out of the triangle. And I was also looking at Dogecoin as well. Let me see the lines over here. Let me go to the 4-hour lines. Now, I'm not quite sure you're gonna understand the lines, but, you know, there is some, you know, sorry, I'm gonna, you know, draw over the lines. There is some kind of resistance line here at the top, even with this fake breakout towards upside. Even with this fake breakout towards upside. And on the bottom side, there is a very nice wedge line down here. Now, we only got 2 touches on the line, but, you know, you take what you get. Maybe this is something like this up here. This looks even nicer. Maybe some kind of falling wedge that actually breaks on the downside. Falling wedges can tend to break on both sides, so, you know. But okay, you know what? Let's put it up here because I actually like this line a little bit better than the bottom line. So let's do that. Now on the other side up here, you'll see that we had the same kind of triangle that for example, Altcoin is having right now. If you go to the Altcoin over here, you'll see that only on the daily time frame, I mean, down, up, then triangle, and right now outside the triangle, it's exactly the same pattern that Altcoin is having right now on Dogecoin. So let's go to Dogecoin up here so you can see the triangle. Let's go do it like this and go back. So you can see here, right back down, up, consolidating here, triangle, broke of the triangle, went in here, create a secondary trend line up here. So there's the first trend line, secondary trend line, broke the trend line right now on the downside as well, keeping this resistance, getting pushed down. Eventually, I think once we no, did not mean to do that. As soon as we actually break this line down here, I think we're gonna drop big time on the downside. I think so. This is only for Dogecoin, right? Only for Dogecoin. Altcoin down here as well, dropping on the downside. Are there any big movers right now? Anchor is as well going down. Anchor blew through the top up here. Anchor did a very nice move up here from the bottom to the top. Did like 6, 7, 8x. So this did this 8x move towards the upside. It had this very nice trend towards the upside. It was moving very fast. Right now the trend is broken. It can still bounce back up again, but technically this move is broken and needs to consolidate for a little bit longer. So Anchor and see. I think that's set for anchor. I think that means that, you know, it's gonna needs the consolidation to, you know, for further, so we can figure out what's gonna happen next. So we can figure out what's gonna happen. Win is up 22% today. Wow, this actually looks very flat. Look at this. This chart up here, man. This is very flat bottom, man. Very flat bottom. And then you gotta, you know, there's something like this up here, where it broke up, went up above the resistance, tried to go up, back down again, and explode towards the upside. This is 1 hourly time frame, so it does look like that. But if you know, zoom out a little bit up here on the chart, you'll see that it was just, you know, a consolidation pattern that actually broke towards the upside. Unfortunately, this move towards the upside is not yet breaking any kind of important resistance line. You can see here we came to the resistance and right back down again, so it's technically not done yet. How low can VeChain go? I don't know, man. VeChain can go just as far down as Bitcoin. Now let's see up here, VeChain, too many lines on screen. We press this button over here and remove the lines because it's just way too annoying, This is the first rejection, went down, you know, try to hug in this pattern up here, try to break up, right back down again. Right now below there's some kind of line here. Let's go and see where the line is up here on the chain. Yeah, this is a nice line. So this trend line that's been going towards the upside, it's got broken. So this is you know, this is not first time this happens. So you can see here we have first trend line broke that right now trend line. So it might do something like this up here and then, you know, correspond. But these two lines are very important up here. So it does look something like this. So once you see this move down, going back down to some kind of 0.27. If it breaks down, we might start looking for some kind of support levels below down there, because it looks like it's losing momentum. It's trying to climb in the losing momentum, trying to climb. It's even though it does look like it's going sideways, it's, you know, it try climb, lose momentum, try to climb, lose momentum as well. The same kind of pattern is repeating over again. Let's just remove everything, go to the weekly time frame. And over on the weekly time frame, now let's go to the monthly time frame. No, we got on the weekly time frame, we got the 200 moving average right over here right now at 0.38, and we are below that 200 moving average right now, unfortunately. Already broken that on downside, so huge important resistance got broken. You can see down here this very tiny little bit of a line. This very tiny little bit of line, that's the 200 moving average that we just got. You can see down here, if you use this tool up here, from this candle up here, we right now have 200 bars. So this is 200 bar on this chart over here. That's why you have this very tiny line, but you know, that can give us a very good indication where the support is. Support at 0.38, we already broke through that. So the question is, how much further down can we go? How many lines do we 46 lines. Now the most important here on the monthly time frame, 0.017. Let's go to the weekly time frame, see how this actually plays out with these stops. Yeah, it does play out nice. So down here, all the way down here at something like 0.21, we already been there. So you know, maybe we're gonna get another move all the way down to these levels again, and then, you know, bounce, because if everything is about to do another, you know, move towards downside, then we are looking at these levels down here. You know, we are not looking all the way down, although we can get, but we don't have that much of a. Let's go 46. I think we had 46 on the monthly time frame, 46 bars, 45 bars. There we go. The up here, all the way up here, is the 50 moving average, where the 200 moving average was. So this is already broken, so you know, it doesn't help us very much. See, 36 go down, 50 moving average. It's not yet, but it's in ballpark area down here. So we are through the 50 moving average on the monthly time frame as well. But yeah, 17.21 give or take in this ballpark area where we already had the wick towards downside. So if we do another move towards downside, we might see these levels again, revisit again. And another one, because of these levels down here, there might also be some kind of line and some kind of support down here as well. You can see both this one and this one and this one and this one up here, you know, and this one down here. Very important levels. So don't make me be very precise, but it's around, you know, 0.0087 or something like that. I think that would be like the worst case scenario. I don't know if that's gonna come that far down, but you know, that would be like the worst case scenario. Did this already break through the support line down here there? Yeah, it's already broke through the support right now, consolidating on the downside and down here below the 200 moving average. Best friend Dome. Good evening, Vanilla. How you doing, man? So this is the thing that's, you know, partnership with Meta Hero, and they're trying to do something, but there was kind of support line up here, broke that, went you know, lower down, increased the speed towards downside though. Right now I think it increased the speed towards downside. Let's go to 2-day chart. Maybe we can see this a little bit better up here. No, it's still the same. It's still the same downtrend since the top up here. It still seems to be the same downtrend since top up here. There seem to be slight divergence down here, but it's already played out. It's already played out. And then there's, let's go right now to small time frames up here. Maybe something like this. So this downtrend over here got broken, then exploded towards upside right now. Consolidating here. We don't want to get back down below the lines, right? We don't want to get back down below this level down here on Dome. 0.025. That wouldn't be nice. What's up? Let's go. John Nolan. Hi man, are we waiting for the new moon, man? Are we waiting for the new moon? What's a good price to enter Gods, now or later, please? Yeah, so Gods is a little bit tricky. You know, the market cap is so low, but you know, you never know. You never know how much lower it can go. It does have this very nice pullback down here. It did explode some insane levels up here. It did explode 330%, and right now it's pulling back. How much is down? 55%. So I don't know. Maybe this was some kind of move. Now the problem with this move towards the upside is we made a high and lower high towards downside. So we didn't, you know, change the trend or anything. This is still technically in a downtrend with a big, nice, juicy move towards the upside. Besides that, you know, nothing is changed. Nothing is changed. You can see up here also on the weekly time frame, we only came back to this 10 moving average, and right now getting rejected on the downside. So I won't see, you know, I'm not touching anything right now until Bitcoin shows some kind of you know, some kind of bottoming signal, and once that's happening, you know, I think everything is gonna bottom out. Support line down here, if you go below 0.56 or something like that, that might be bad, of course, but right now, you know, it might be, you know, it could, you know, play out, you know, going long here and hoping it, you know, the support's gonna hold and everything's gonna turn around for Gods, and Gods just gonna continue pumping towards the upside. Just know if we start losing the support on the downside around 0.57, that's not gonna be a good thing, right? We are waiting. Cryptolove just made a video saying the bottom will come in June or July. I reckon he watches TLA. Yeah, so I think right now a lot of people are, you know, assuming the bottom is gonna come in June, July, but it's not because they are watching the moons. It's more or less, you know, they're watching the charts, they're watching the, you know, triangles, falling wedges, major support levels of like 200 weekly moving average, and they're just like, you know, predicting, yeah, this is not gonna take that long, you know, so it's gonna come around June, July. But we know the dates, guys. We know the dates. We knew the dates a long time before. I thought I would have good return when I buy crypto. Doesn't working. Where can I give my crypto back? You have to call customer support. You have to call customer support. Cardano is an interesting one. This thing just is not stopping bleeding. Sorry about that. Let's move the moving average a little bit up here. 200 moving average can we keep? This is the 200 moving average on the Cardano right now. We are below the 200 moving average. You can see the wick came all the way down to support at 3, 4, 6, whatever, right? We are still thinking that this can go again all the way down there, but we had one support up here at, you know, what's that? 70, 78, that got broken. We are right now, you know, trying to slowly break this support here between 58 and 52, and we are doing that. So if you dump down here, because you gotta know between these levels down here, between here, there's very much empty space. So it looks like it's getting ready to, you know, get this nice move again back to the support levels down here at the bottom. So whether we're gonna break the support or if this support is gonna hold, that's a tricky question. But you know, if we are assuming Bitcoin is gonna go down, and if Bitcoin goes down, everything does. So this might actually go back down to, you know, these levels down here on the downside. You can see how nicely it went to the support, bounced off that, went down support, tried to go up here, failed that, went through the support, overextend towards downside, bounce back up, you know, right now holding below the support levels here. So we are expecting this another move towards downside down here on Cardano. But you know, between 34, 36, 38, give or take, somewhere around there, there is going to be some kind of bottom if Bitcoin continues going down. Cardano is also one of these coins that have, you know, gone down massively. 87% correction already. So if you think like Bitcoin is doing, has been doing 84% correction year, you know, every time we are in the bear market, so, you know, some kind of correction, you know, around 80-90%, that's huge even for Cardano right now. Could this be huge cup and handle on the weekly Cardano chart? Huge cup and handle? I don't see a huge cup and handle, man. Oh, you mean I mean, it just might be that. It just might be that. But you know, to see this pattern, I think we need to zoom out a little bit up here. I think let's see the weekly time frame. Yeah, it might be. It might be very nice cup and handle pattern up here. Should go something like this up here to the top, give or take. It's really not that important. So this is a cup, right? Cup, extended, pulling back to the support lines, and then go up here. And then, you know, blast through, right? Blast through. Now this is a logarithmic chart, so the target for this, let's say the bottom is down here, just, you know, have the middle of the cup. It depends on when you bank like 220 bucks on a cup and handle, guys. Have fun. How many X is that right now from bottom up here? Only 417X, not even 1000. Crap. How about TRON? Yeah, TRON is actually a very good one. Let's go check out TRON. How is TRON doing right now? It's up 6%, and I posted on Twitter, guys. I posted on Twitter, and I asked people on Twitter. Why is TRON so bullish? And I don't know, guys. I don't know. Why is TRON so bullish, guys? What's happening with TRON? What do I not know? Because this is, you know, this is 200 moving averages. If you just pop the moving averages, I mean, it is, you know, this weekly moving is still holding above moving averages, man. Not only that, we are going even above the 50 moving averages. You know, TRON actually might have already found the bottom. TRON doesn't give a damn, man. Look here, bottom, and right now creating these higher highs. Even this move towards downside, you know, just, you know, held these support levels and bounced back right up again. Look at this trend line, guys. Maybe something like here, give or take. See here, it broke, you know, it broke out of this move towards downside. It got support and right now climbing towards the upside. If it can get above, you know, what's that, 87 or something like that. If you can get above 87, you know, just might, you know, continue towards the upside. But of course, there are always troubles in paradise. There is this line up here. Right now, and we are very close to that line, so only break of the trend line towards the upside up here gives us enough bullishness. But right now it does look more bullish than everything. When everything has been, you know, dumping towards downside right now big time, it really doesn't matter what kind of chart you look at. You know, it really doesn't matter what kind of chart you take, this happens. But when you look at the TRON, you know, when you look at TRON, you know, it didn't have this over here, it just went like this, man. So I don't know what's happening with TRON, why TRON is so bullish. I don't know what's happening with TRON and why TRON is so bullish, but you know, the fact is, it is bullish, more bullish than everything else. Something is happening with TRON. I do not know what, but you know, maybe there is a lack of volume or something like that. But it looks better than everything else, or a lot of other stuff. 239 look. Other 220 confirmed. Yeah, other 220 confirmed. Not sure about that, but you know, I think they are pumping it, or its elbow stablecoin will fail if it dumps. Dodgy. Yeah, something is up. I don't know what's up. You know, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it has something to do with the algo stablecoin. Justin Sun is on a mission. He might be, you know, so you know, if they, because this should have dumped just like everything else, guys. I mean, there's nothing special about this chart over here. We were, you know, we had a nice move towards the upside. We broke the trend. Right now the trend is, you know, try to pick up here. It's fairly, you know, up here. We're gonna see if how high it can actually get, but you know, it should have dumped like everything else. It's not. So something is up. What is up, I do not know, but I know when the chart is not playing out like everything else, you know, that something is up. TRON had a big burn over the weekend. Interesting. May have been reflected by this. Might be that. So let's go back to the Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is 0.8%. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame up here, see what's happening. Not much. The biggest problem, the way I see it over here right now, it's nothing, you know, we are not watching the pattern or anything like that. Let's just see down here. Give or take, broke that, and right now broke that again, so it is, you know, going and then going down here, and then, you know, breaks some downside. We'll see how this actually plays out. The biggest problem up here is this trend line up here, down here. We broke through that, went below the moving average. Right now we are below the moving average, so if we fail up here, you know, getting above this moving averages and, you know, go below 29,000 down here on downside, we just might fall all the way down through 28, whatever that is, on the downside. So I'm technically still, you know, still bearish, still looking for more downside, but as soon as that hits, you know, that might, you know, be enough for us to actually, you know, turn the bull signal on and, you know, ride the way towards the upside. Luna was bought up and then USD was crashed. TRON has a stablecoin too, right? Oh. So if you do it like this, just to see how Luna looked before the crash, let's compare it with Bitcoin, BTC, USDT, something like that. New price scale up here. So yeah, so you can see it up here, you know, we hit some kind of top up here, but Luna just continued climbing towards the upside for a long time while this was actually going towards downside. So Luna was going against the charts. It had a nice pullback, but it was just climbing. How long did this take? This is 4 hours. Let's go to the daily time frame. This took actually quite a long time. 140. So they have been, you know, pumping Luna for you know, 140 days. Can we assume they're gonna pump Luna for next 140 days down here as well? Sorry, TRON. You see the problem up here, man. Everything was playing out nicely here, and then this thing started going towards the upside, this started going towards the downside. But 140 days, man. 140 days, that's around August. So maybe we're gonna see, you know, the continuation up here, and then in August it dumps down. Get your shorts ready, boy. I don't know. We're just speculating on what's the reason for this, you know, for TRON not following Bitcoin, but you know, there are probably very good, you know, answers to that. Unfortunately, I don't know any good, you know, any of those good answers. So, you know, we are just looking what we are looking at. Anyways, guys, been 48 minutes. Again, not in the mood for crypto. I don't know why. I think everything is boring right now. I've been looking at some kind of, you know, altcoins and stuff like that, but you know, still unsure what's gonna happen. But most likely plus button. But what if I press this plus button? What do I get then? I don't know. Nothing happens on my chart, man. Plus button. What does this do? Plus button. I don't know. Okay, guys, that's it. Bitcoin is up at 1%, so we are going definitely to 100K right now. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hit the like button on the way out. You know, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a new update on what's gonna happen. Hopefully, I'm gonna be a little bit better mood. But that is that. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy the charts. There's always somebody streaming Bitcoin. Bye bye guys.